welcome to our show. Today we discuss about growing your business, how you can get more sales, results, and anything else. I'm so excited to discuss this topic with Tristan. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thank you very much for having me this morning. Well, it's morning in Australia anyway.
Oh yeah, it's evening in the US, but luckily we have this internet connection. We can cooperate and yeah, connect with any place in the world. Before we start, just tell more about your self experience, background, and why you decided to pay a lot of attention with that.
How long have we got? I could spend half an hour talking about. I don't want to spend half an hour. Uh, um,
Yeah, I don't know, like a few minutes you can tell
yeah.
more about yourself.
So, obviously, my name's Tristan Wright. I run a company called Evolve to Grow, and in short, it's a business coaching consulting company. But that's not the interesting part. It's how I got there. That's the story.
Yeah.
So, uh, in my early days, I studied product design engineering, so mech engine industrial design, and worked in that space for a little bit. And uh, I fell into running my own business a couple of years out of uni, selling, manufacturing, and designing custom sportswear. So cycling clothing, running clothing, triathlon clothing. A, a bunch of friends wanted to organize some clothing, and I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. And I looked at different manufacturers in Australia, and none of them I thought were any good at the time. Either the product quality was useless, or the customer service was no good, or the price wasn't right. So I thought, I'm going to do this. Sorry, I'm going to do this myself. And I found a manufacturer in Australia, in China, and ordered
Mhm.
that first kit. Got the gear over, and everyone put the lycra on, and the shorts were see through. So everyone
Mhm.
could see when we're out riding. Everyone could see your bum. So that wasn't a good
Mhm.
thing. But
Mhm.
what I did learn was that there was a gap in the market, and that there was an opportunity for me to make a business out of this. So I set up Site Custom Cycling Wear, which ended up being Site Sports, and I built this from my kitchen table in the evenings, and built. I built it up to doing about 350K per annum before I even went full time on it, and
Mhm.
built it up. It's making lots and lots of money, and then all of a sudden, and this was in my 20s, so I had lots of initial success, and I didn't realize that. I had an ego or a lot of arrogance at the time, so I didn't think I needed support or guidance from anyone else. But all of a sudden, there was uh, economic factors.
Mhm.
The Aussie dollar tanked against the US dollar at the same time that my wife at the time came to me and said our marriage is over. So all
Mhm.
of a sudden, two big factors in my life that I'd never had to deal with. I'd never had any issues in business or personal life before. These both happened at one time, and I had no idea how to deal with it. So um, all I did was shut up shop and eh, mentally shut up shop and just go day to day. And I ended up being about 250 grand in debt. And that wasn't a fun place to be, being 200 odd grand in debt. So um, I had the opportunity that I could either fix things up, I could shut down the business and get a day job and pay back the debt over 20 years, or I could get over my ego and get over my arrogance and rebuild the business. Realize that I need support and guidance from others, and I can't do it all myself. And I realized that I wanted a better life for myself. So, uh, rebuilt the business, built it back into a seven-figure business, and eventually sold the business on. So,
Mhm.
and then from there, there's a whole another story. But that's the short version of it. So, fire away
Nice.
if you got any
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah, yeah, I like your story because it sounds familiar for me because I had something like this, because in 2008, yeah, even more in 2005, I graduated from my university and worked in three commercial banks. Then I found the way, some gaps where I can jump to create my own company, and I did it. And it's like for 6 months I could earn more than 30 times then I get common salary. And 2 years were fine, everything is fine, and I decided to grow my business, to invest all my money, to get debts, to extend all my business to all Ukraine. But in 2008 the world crisis destroyed everything that I had, and my debts were equal to 3000 average salaries in Ukraine. And I was bankrupt, destroyed. I didn't know what to do because I earned money, but I lost everything. Even more, I had a lot of debts. But that was experience, you know. I think
Exactly.
that, yeah, I was working like 5 years to get back all these debts, to create my new business. That was actually destroyed one more time after the Ukrainian revolution. So I opened my online agency, you know, and keep going with that. Yeah, I think whatever happens in your life, it's better to get experience. If you have two legs, two hands, if you have your head, you have everything what you need to do, you know. Yeah, it
Exactly.
doesn't matter what kind of depth. It's more about health. If you have healthy, just set up the positive mindset, you know, to your head.
Exactly. We use our experiences as a learning tool, and uh, and move forward from that rather than let it shape us in a negative mindset. We use what's happened to us previously as a tool to work out what to do or what not to do in the future.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I have the first question about if someone wanna I don't know, like to open a new business startup, where to start? I mean, like of course we understand we need to create awesome product, we need to provide sales, marketing, but how we can unite the positive mindset? Because you know, let me explain why I'm asking about that. Because I often see when businesses have no patience. You know, they want to get quick results. They build high expectations. I will earn like $1 million for a few months. You know, but in reality, it's hard. It's hard because we have
Mm.
huge competition, fierce competition. But how to build this patience and go ahead with something that you like, and yeah, want to get results?
There's so many different ways to answer this question, and so many different layers in there. But at the end of the day, for me, it think about it as a journey, and where and we've got an end goal. The end goal is reaching the top of Mount Everest, so scaling Mount Everest. We need to actually understand what the peak of Mount Everest looks like. We need to have
Mhm.
visualize what it is specifically that we want to achieve. And what I mean by that is, what do we want our business to look like? That's once we're at the top of Mount Everest. What do we want our personal life to look like? So, it's very important that we understand what we want our personal life to look like at the same time as the business life, because they both interact with each other so closely. Uh, and then once we've got that in mind, it's a lot easier to ensure that we're heading in the right direction at the right pace. Because so often people get excited about building $1 million business, because that's the loosely thought out goal. But what ends up happening is you you go and build $1 million business, but you're building it on a house of cards, because your only goal is to hit $1 million. And if you build it on a house of cards, partway through, you'll collapse and fall over because you haven't built the foundations or the base. So rather than going flat stick right at the very start, let's think about the simplest way, the safest way to get to the top of Mount Everest, because
Mhm.
otherwise we might go on the fast route, and go like you think about climbing Mount Everest. There's different routes to get up to the top, I definitely Mount Kilimanjaro is. I've climbed Kilimanjaro. There's 5 or 6 different routes to climb Kilimanjaro.
Mhm.
Some have got a better success rate than others. The highest success rate routes are the slowest ones. The lowest success rate routes are the slowest ones. Sorry, the fastest ones. So we have to make sure we're
Mhm.
choosing the correct route to
Mhm.
get to our end goal.
Yeah, yeah. I think I remember the interview with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he shared that you need to have a clear vision where you go,
Mm,
clear goals, what kind of results are you going to achieve? Because he achieved his results in sports, in filming, in politics, because of
mm.
having clear goals and focusing to achieve these goals. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk more. Yeah, go ahead. You want to share
I was
something?
just going to say it's simple, like it sounds simple, and people bang on about it all the time. But so many people don't implement it, and or don't actually go deep enough. And it might be that you're not actually connected to your vision or your end goal. So it's got to be something that you resonate with and that you actually want to achieve, that you're
Mhm.
willing to give other things up for. Because otherwise, if you're not willing to give up other things, you're just going to stay status quo.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Valuable. Okay, let's talk about actually business, not about person. For example,
Yeah.
let me share my story. A few years ago, some good employees left my company. Key players in my team,
Mm.
they left, and I started to discover what's going on, to research more about that, and I found that a toxic environment appealed in my company. People couldn't handle many things that are not concerned to our business. So yeah, and after that I decided to change many things, to speak more with my employees, to spend more time with them, especially today because I have business in Ukraine. I need to communicate with them. But can you tell how to avoid toxic environment? Because I check out a few studies that uh, a lot of people can leave companies because of this toxic environment. It's not about salary, many other things. They just can't handle some, I don't know, hard time. They can't handle or to cooperate with other people. Can you tell more about creating positive environment and to have this friendly manner?
So the way I'm going to explain it is probably oversimplifying it, and you might question why am I making it so simple? But for me, it is. Uh, the business owner has a vision for what they want to achieve out of the business, or the leaders have a vision. It's the leader's duty to enroll their team and their team's team in that vision and show their team what the benefit of the vision is to them. And once the team totally understands the personal benefit of the vision or the ultimate objective to them, they're going to be enrolled in it and actually drive forward the business. And this isn't something that happens overnight. It's something that is continuous. The leader has to be constantly working with their team to continually ensure that their team is enrolled in the vision or the ultimate objective of the business, by making sure that the team actually understands the personal benefit to them and the impact that that vision has on the greater community.
Mhm. That means we need to share our vision or our goals with a team, and they need to understand. It's more about, for example, if we have different cultures, different
Mm,
characters, different people. Someone is thinking about their family, about kids. They need
mm.
to take them to the school, to the doctor. Many things, but you want to unite all these people with one
Mm.
goal. How to consider their personal attitudes with business goals?
So that's the the benefit to them. It's like, if you do this, you personally will benefit this way. So by you helping me achieve my goal, these are the benefits for you. The benefits are extra pay. It is feeling good about X. It is being able to look after your family. The more you help the business on its journey, the easier it is for the business to support you and to support the people around you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found on your LinkedIn profile, let me quote, you give the gifts of time, freedom, and results to business owners like you, starting now. A high-level monthly business mentorship and mastermind program to help entrepreneurs learn, scale, and grow. I want to learn, I want to scale, I want to grow. Can you tell more about that? For example, if I wanna cooperate with you, and I want to know more about that. Can you tell how you can help my business to grow?
Sure. So basically, my ultimate objective in business is for the business owner to get true fulfillment. True fulfillment
Mhm.
is that they're happy with what they're doing in a business life, and they're happy with what they're doing in their personal life, and they work well together. So for me to achieve that, we need results, we need time, and we need freedom. So if we're able to get results both for the business and for the clients, if we're able to get time, i.e., to be able to increase capacity, and we're able to have, and that's both personally and for the staff, and then if we're able to get freedom, i.e., the ability to do what we want when we want, we then have fulfillment. So I
Mhm.
work with businesses to achieve to achieve results, time, freedom, in that order. And to achieve each of them, there's the different areas of the business. There's alignment, there's mindset, there's strategy, marketing, brand, sales. And we focus on each of those individual areas at the right time. Because if we did a survey, if I asked you a question, you might say you're getting plenty of results for your clients and for yourself, but you don't have freedom. So if we don't have freedom, but we're okay with time and results, you're not going to be truly fulfilled right now. So we look at the freedom trigger, and what is it that makes up freedom? And often it is having proper operations in place, proper people systems in place, and proper money management in place. That's probably going to be one of the three triggers that are holding you back from achieving true freedom. So we then dig deeper into that and focus on that area. So that's
Mhm.
how my model, so to speak, works, and we find the trigger that or the point that you're missing out of freedom, results, and time, and focusing on that.
Mhm. Can you tell how to find that proper management? Probably, for example, I can think that I have proper management, everything is fine,
Hmm.
but something is wrong with that. How to find it? How to figure out that I need to fix something in my process management? Yeah, with your attitudes.
So it always comes back to the ultimate objective. What is it that the business wants to achieve, and having proper
Hmm.
metric, and what does the business want to achieve, and having metrics around that. And you're typically going to have 5 different metrics, and if those 5 metrics that you've got are fine, there's no need to change. But it can't be just you reporting in those metrics. The leadership team needs to report in on those metrics as well. So it is, so many businesses miss this, but doing a internal pulse survey, a quarterly survey, asking questions around all the different business areas: marketing, branding, sales, systems, operations, HR, strategy, alignment. If you don't ask questions about each of those areas, on a quarterly basis, you're not going to be able to identify the gaps or the weaknesses or the strengths within your business. It's just going to be based off gut feel, and you're going to end up being reactive rather than being proactive.
Yeah, got it. Interesting. Uh, can you tell what to choose? Customer orientation or employee orientation? What do you think?
I've got a saying: if I look after my staff look after my customers, and my customers will look after me. So, from a
Uh-huh.
leadership perspective, look after the staff first. Look after your employees first.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, because I read information about that. We have many different attitudes, and yeah, for example, on Amazon, Jeff Bezos pays more attention to customers. On Bloomberg to competition. In many other great companies, they pay attention to staff. So yeah, I think business leaders need to serve their staff, not vice versa. Because I often see when business leaders want to get more money, sales, but if you can't make them happy, that means they can't make happy you as well.
So we'll use Bezos for an example. We hear about him in the media all the time about not looking after his staff very well. Um, he's able to get around that because he's got his systems and processes dialed in so well, that he doesn't worry if he has a high staff churn, because there's so many people needing work, that he can replace those people, and it doesn't cost him a lot to onboard new staff members because he's got his systems and processes dialed in so well. And that's, for me, that's not an ethical way of doing business. You should have your systems and processes dialed in, but you should actually be looking after your staff or your employees as well.
Yeah, nice points. Yeah, I read a book about Jeff Bezos. Yeah, many attitudes with employees in his companies. Yeah, they're unhappy with something, but when you have such big companies, I think it's hard to avoid them. Sometimes things happen. Can you tell, for
Correct.
example, how to handle big company management and to pay attention to all employees in your company? Because if toxic environment appeals, it's hard to check out, because we can't go to directly to staff minds. Can you tell more about that?
Um, for, for me, it comes down to communication from the top down to the bottom. And a lot of businesses grow without putting in place a proper management and reporting structure that includes company goals and company vision and what each department is responsible for. So if if you have a there's a framework called the OKR framework, and the OKR framework should have the ability to waterfall down the company's vision, objectives, key results, down to from the top level down to the very bottom level, and the people on the ground floor should actually understand what their objectives and key results are, and um, how they impact the business and how they impact them personally. But it's the implementation of something like an OKR framework that fails, or leadership teams don't understand the benefit of that because they don't have um, communication training, cultural training. They just focus on driving the objectives. They don't actually focus on the impact at levels beneath them and how the people beneath them need to be enrolled in those objectives and key results.
Yeah. Okay. Can you tell, for example, if everyone is busy, CEO is busy, all people are busy, and but something is not good, something is wrong with the process. Can you tell how you can impact to the process that it actually works, provides results, sales, but something is wrong because you can improve it, you can provide something new, how to I don't know, like how to impact the process with busy people who have no time to check out other things.
So Uh, I'd like to think this applies for all businesses, but obviously, some people are just it's going to hit a brick wall. But it comes back to the ultimate objective and the pathway that you're taking. Are you actually taking the simplest path, or is the work that you're doing busy work as opposed to work that is effective? So many businesses that don't take time to reflect on the journey, that don't take time to make sure that they're working in alignment with the business objective, end up being busy with busy work, and they're not actually being A, efficient, and B, effective. And because of that, they don't have time to get their head out, take their head out of the weeds and have a look around. So if you're feeling that pain that you're busy, for me, the first step is you have to find some time to sit back and reflect and ask the question, are you actually working on the most effective way to be on that pathway or on that journey that you're taking? Or are you just busy doing busy work because you haven't taken time to check in on the business objectives?
Okay, got it. Uh, can you tell 3 things that all businesses need to do today?
Ooh, good question. 3 things that
Yeah,
all
the most
businesses
important.
need to do.
Yeah.
You put me on the spot here. 3 things that all businesses need to do today. And it can be anything. So, uh, it is number 1, it's a business hygiene checklist. Put systems
Mhm.
around making sure that on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis that you're doing financial health checks, you're doing people health checks, you're doing sales health checks. So it might be half an hour a day, or sorry, half an hour a week, or an hour a month, but have in place a checklist that you need to go through once a week, once a month, to make sure that your business is running smoothly. A lot of, I'll say, smaller business owners are very good at what they do, the service that they deliver, but running a business doesn't always come natural to them. So things um, fall off and get forgotten about. So if we have a hygiene checklist in place, we're always going to, no matter what, do that and make sure our business stays healthy. So that's number 1. Number
Mhm.
2 is, don't forget to say thank you to your team. Be grateful of the work that your team is doing. If you can spend time investing in your team, that helps build rapport and trust, and they're going to come back to you. Uh, they're going to want to stay with you, but they're also going to feel like they can have open conversations with you and help build the business, whether it's through curiosity or just general feedback. So, business health, looking after your is number 1. Number 2 is looking after your team. Number 3, what is the most important thing? So we're looking after the business, we're looking after the people, we need to look after our customers or our clients.
Mhm.
We
Mhm.
can't take our clients for granted. So many, so what we need to do, I talked about doing a pulse check with our internally with our staff. We need to continuously do pulse checks externally with our clients, because if we're not innovating or improving, we're being stagnant, and that means we're moving backwards. So we need to continuously be talking to our clients to get their feedback on how we can improve our offer. So putting in place a
Mhm.
process or system so that we can continuously do that.
Yeah, nice points. Love it. Uh, Can you tell how to learn more about your job? Let me explain why I'm asking about that. For example, in SEO field, when I cooperate with a new client, I usually tell them learn a little bit about SEO. A little bit for me, like a few days, because when I spent like 10 years in this field, I can know a lot of things, but it's hard to learn SEO for a few days, but they understand the process. They understand what kind of results we want to get. Can you tell more about learning about things that you do? How businesses should learn to understand the basic and implement them in their common life?
Good question. So I actually put up a post a couple of days ago on Facebook, and it was something along the lines of um, a 5-day course doesn't make a business coach, because there's so many business coaches popping up all over the place at the moment, and they've done a 5-day course to say that they're a business coach, and
Mhm.
and that tarnishes the industry because these guys don't have any experience. Often they haven't run a business. They just want to get in. They want to be an entrepreneur. They're a wannabe-preneur, and they think, okay, I'll go coach other business owners, and that doesn't quite work. So,
Mhm.
um, and going based off the feedback, like there's people talking saying what actually makes a business coach, and the what I'll say the general population, the general consensus is it needs to be someone that has actually got real world experience, that's actually run a business or multiple businesses, that's had success, that's had failures, uh, that and then has rebuilt, that has actually got communication skills and can look at a business holistically, not just at sales, not just at marketing, but from a strategic standpoint, from an operational standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, from a financial standpoint. We need to understand each and every pillar there is to make up business.
Mhm.
Uh, and then you need to be able to communicate and educate that. Does that answer your
Mhm.
question, or did I go off on a tangent?
You can add more about learning, how to learn about something like this. I mean, like blog posts, books, courses. What do you think? Which way?
So, um, for me, like I'm looking at a typical client. If a client wants to continue to grow their business, they can't just use a business coach or a marketing consultant or a podcast as a single source of truth. You need to have a curious mindset. You need to be
Mm-hmm.
continually learning. You need to be continually looking to what's the next opportunity. So, but I will say, find two or three uh, two or three people or sources that you trust and follow their frameworks. If you go and find
Mm-hmm.
5, 6, 7 sources that you learn from, you're going to become overwhelmed because they're going to be providing conflicting information. So get 2 or 3 sources that you trust and stick to them and follow their frameworks. Yes, go and listen to other things, but be careful. You'll become overwhelmed if you go and look for too much information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got it. Valuable. Can you tell how to find the right business coach? Because we have so many opportunities today, even in SEO and digital marketing, everywhere. Well, your tips, how to find the right business coach who will lead your business in the right direction? Because I mean, like to cooperate with experts, not mediocre
Mm.
specialists who just learn some information but are not ready, to handle the process.
I think it goes for any industry, not just business coaches. It goes for SEO consultants, it goes for marketing consultants, it goes for accountants. It is find someone or find a business that has got proven results and is willing to share uh, who those results are from, and those results are with people or businesses in your industry at a similar stage. So find a consultant that's got results that they're open and willing to share, and those results are with people that are similar to you, or businesses that are similar to you. So you need to look at that, and then obviously you need to be able to have an open conversation with that person. You need to actually feel like there's trust with that person. So just because what you don't want to do is go for someone that's got the best marketing or sales pitch but can't show you the results that they've achieved, because
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what depth they've got. So the results speak for themselves, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Uh, can you tell how to analyze these results? Because, for example, if I wanna hire a copywriter, they can share their portfolio. But I don't know why, but in most cases, when you hire many specialists, they usually write less quality than on their portfolio. Can you tell how to I don't know, like to divide mediocre stuff or from uh,
Cop-
more advanced?
Copywriting is probably the hardest one to find a consultant or contractor, because anyone can plagiarize work and uh, and create their own portfolio. So that's a really hard industry to find people. The way I like to look at it is KPIs or metrics. So you go into an engagement. What are the KPIs or metrics that the person has wanted to achieve? Let's say SEO consultant. We want to achieve a 300% growth in traffic over 12 months, and we want to increase time on page from 1 minute to 3 minutes. And we want to have 10 first page rankings keywords. So there are 3 metrics that we can use to measure success. So we go and speak to someone that's achieved these results and say, hey, what was your relationship like with this person? Did you set metrics at the start of the engagement, and were those metrics achieved? And did you enjoy your relationship with them? And are you still working with them? And if the answer is yes to all of them, that's a pretty good testimonial or case study, or a pretty good reason to work with them, assuming that they're a similar type business to yours. That's how I measure, or what I use when I'm looking to engage a consultant.
Yeah, valuable. I have the final question about the future. Can you tell what kind of future can you forecast, in business coaching, and why?
Good question. I want my crystal ball here, so I don't have a crystal ball. But I'm seeing an industry, a sub-industry of coaches coaching coaches that coach coaches that coach baby coaches. So it's almost an industry where, um, and I'm being negative in a sense. Sometimes coaches aren't successful coaching in the real world, so they go and coach other coaches,
Mhm.
and then those baby coaches go and do prospecting with no experience and burn all the prospects. So until there's regulation in this space, there's going to be a lot of clients or prospects that get burnt by poorly qualified coaches,
Mhm.
because the coaches that end up being any good, they'll scale to a group coaching model very quickly. So if you want to get real impact from the coaching industry, find a coach that's got a group coaching model, because they've actually been able to scale their coaching practice with an actionable framework. Whereas a one-on-one coach, they're going to be coaching reactively and may not necessarily have had a lot of success.
Yeah, nice points. Tristan, it's a big pleasure to get you on my show, to learn from you. You shared a lot of valuable insights. Tell our audience how they can reach out to you, learn more about you, follow you.
Thank you very much for having me. Easiest way is to Google me, Tristan Wright, and then type in Evolve to Grow, and you'll see me come up on LinkedIn, Facebook. Website is evolvetogrow.com.au.
Okay, guys, if you don't know how to find on Google, you can use all these links in the description below. If you don't use Google, I mean like that. Yeah, a big pleasure again. Love your insights. You share so much value. People, you need to follow Tristan to learn from him, to cooperate with him, because you can grow your business and to get a new level. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify. See you next time.